Hello everyone, my name is Grace. Welcome to another vlog. And this week we're starting Spookoplathon for October. Uh, I am outside because it's a beautiful day. I'm also being forced to play tug of war and fetch with my dog. So, okay, now that he's taking a break, I am gonna sit outside and read a bit. So I will insert the clip. I rolled my first roll last night. I ended up on, I want to say, pumpkin carving. Is that the case, if I remember correctly? Which the prompt was just to have a face on the cover. And originally I was going to read a book that I now don't remember the title of because it was an ebook, so I'm filming on my phone, so now I can't even look. But I decided that I just wasn't in the mood for that. So what I decided to do was I was watching JD Ray Reed's latest video, which just was wrapping up her September reading, and she recommended / read the 3 of these graphic novels. It's called Hooky. It's, I mean, I picked it. I don't know anything about it. I think she described it as there's a world where witches and humans don't really get along, but you have these two brother and sister who they befriend some humans and they want the world to get along. That's all I know about it. Basically, I won't say everything Jade recommends I pick up, but I keep it on my radar. And I don't know what it is about fall, but whenever it becomes fall, I just want to read graphic novels. I think my first ever graphic novel I read was actually is it called Pumpkinhead? I'll have to put a picture up. And it was literally actually, I think it was for September Bookopoly back a couple years ago. And I read it, and ever since, when I pick up, or when I'm really in the mood for graphic novels, it's in the fall. Anyways, I digress. My point here is I'm gonna sit outside, read for a bit. Okay, so I've been reading Hooky, and kind of hurts my heart a little bit. Right now, the brother and sister witches have met not necessarily human kids, but they've met some people, and they're being mean to Dorian, which it's Dorian and Danny, and they're being mean to him, and it just hurts my heart a bit. But it's so cute and cozy, and it's just a lot of fun right now. I would probably be almost done with it, or at least a lot further, but I have this little tiny boy who really needed to go to Petco and get a treat, and we needed more dog food, but he's been quite annoying. So, and I guess he got a little new toy you can probably hear in the background. But anyways, I just have to jump on because I'm my heart hurts a bit because they're being mean to him, but he's just out here trying to be, he's kind of a nerd, but he's just trying to be himself and make friends, and they don't want to be his friends. I'm assuming eventually they will be, but right now they're not. Okay, so I just finished Hooky. Honestly, it was an emotional roller coaster of a ride, but overall, I really loved it. I want to read the next one so bad. The fact that it's also finished, there's only 3 of the books. It's based off of webtoons, by the way. Like it makes me so excited to actually read them all because I know I don't have to be waiting for more to happen. And I won't say it left off on a cliffhanger necessarily, but it definitely made me want to keep reading. So I'm about to go upstairs. It's also past midnight, so I'm gonna go upstairs, roll another dice for Spookoplathon, and see if I can somehow fit this into the prompt. A little nervous about that, but hopefully it'll work out. If not, I might still just read them tomorrow. Because, like, I have the second and third checked out from the library as well. And I might just read them anyways. Because I want to read them. Anyways, so I loved it. I give it 4 stars. I don't know really, I don't remember how much I told you earlier. So basically you have twin siblings who are witches, Dorian and Danny, and they go on this like adventure. I don't want to say adventure necessarily, they don't go on an adventure, but so in this world the witches and humans, like, there's been just a long history of fighting and stuff. And even though it's partially peaceful still, it's like it's not. And there's still tension and everything. And so they get swept up in this, I don't want to say war, but like the potential of a war. And along the way they meet like human friends, or mortal friends, I don't know. And they, befriend people, and they're trying to stop. They want peace, and stuff like that. I don't really know. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil anything. But either way, it was really good. So, yeah, I'm going to go roll the die, and I'll let you know. You'll see the clip of what it is. And then I probably won't record much else tonight because I'm going to go get in bed. But, oh my goodness, sorry. You can tell it's late. But, I don't know. Do I want to start it again? I mean, I'm tired. I don't know. I'll either try to find like a different book to fit the prompt, or I'm going to try and fit the second volume to fit the prompt. But either way, I'll probably end up reading the second book. So, bye. Okay. Worst possible outcome for me trying to fit Hooky Volume 2 as a prompt, because I rolled a 2. I absolutely hate going off like the first random generated like number dice, whatever. Usually I do it a couple times, but when I put it in, it just immediately started going, and I was like, I could do it again, but no, I'll stick with it. And I got chance. So I have my chance cards. I'm gonna mix it up a bit because I just wrote them when I wrote them, and nothing happened. Oh, I lost them. I don't remember what I wrote. This one that I accidentally just dropped, which I'm not picking, is one I don't want right now. I think I'll still do another roll just to see, since like I'm stuck with this one. But I want to read tonight. Trying not to look at it. Also, I accidentally wrote this in like a really light, what is it called? With a light marker. So I can't read them anyway, unless I'm looking directly at them. Okay, let's have them in half. Or I have them shuffled. I'm gonna cut the deck like you do, okay? I'm just really scared. Oh my god. Okay, what is this? What is this gonna be? Can you read that? Dr. Frankenstein's daughter? Ugh. Hold on. Okay, so Dr. Frankenstein's Daughter by Suzanne Nguyen. Ironically, I do want to read this. I say that, like, of course, most of the things on here, like, I did want to read. I've read by Suzanne Nguyen before. It's so funny, I actually have several of her books, and, like, I never really realized that. Does that mean, I don't know, like, do you ever just kind of collect books by authors thinking they're interesting, but not realizing that you have several of them? Also, I've, like, read by this author. Anyways, synopsis. A new generation is creating a monster. When Dr. Victor Frankenstein died, he left behind a legacy of horror, as well as 2 unacknowledged beautiful twin daughters. Now these girls are 17, and they've come to Frankenstein's castle to claim it as their inheritance. Giselle and Ingrid are twins, but they couldn't be more different. Giselle is a glamorous social climber who plans on turning Frankenstein's castle into a center of high society. Ingrid meanwhile, is quiet and studious, drawn to the mysterious notebooks her father left behind and the experiments that he went mad trying to perfect. As Giselle prepares for lavish parties and Ingrid finds herself falling for the sullen, wounded naval officer next door, a sinister force begins to take hold in the castle. No bodies safe as Frankenstein's legacy leads to a twisted macrobee. I don't know how to say that. MACABRE. In my head, it's macrobee, but that doesn't make any sense. Journey of romance and horror. I don't know. It's actually pretty short. It's only 250 pages with the author's note. So will be a nice read for this season. Most of the things I put in the chance cards are like good for spooky season. And it's like big font, so I think it'll be pretty easy to get through. But I'm gonna roll again because let's hope for something that I can fit Hooky Volume 2 into. I just looked up what Jason is. Jason Voorhees. Escape Camp Crystal Lake alive. Read a book with 13 letters in the title. That does not fit my prompt. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to think about that one for a while. So I probably don't have an answer to that. Can't fit the volume into that book. Or into that prompt. I can't fit Hokey Volume 2 into that prompt. I don't even think if I included like how to spell out volume that would work. Yeah, no. It'd be 11 letters. And then if you include like 2, that's either 12 or 14. Like it won't work. Okay. So I'll have to think about that one. I'll put it. Okay. So yeah, that won't work. I'll have to think about it. I don't know. That'll be hard to figure out. But once I eventually get to that book, I'll let you guys know what it is, or if I come up with what I'm gonna choose. But for now, I'm gonna go to bed because I am super tired. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Hello. So it's been a while. I think last time I talked to you guys, I had just rolled, hold on, I'm trying to put a bookmark in. I had just rolled, for Bookopoly, and I got, Dr. Frankenstein's Daughter by Susan Wynn. I haven't been reading the past couple weeks. Well, I say weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks, maybe. I read like the first couple days of October and then I just stopped reading. I was more interested in playing like The Sims in my spare time. And then in the past like 3 days I've been cross stitching. So I'll have to show you some of that later. But I did decide, okay, I really need to read some. I also have a book club book that I need to read by this weekend. It's Thursday. So we'll see if that happens. Hopefully I might try to pick up the audiobook for it and then listen to it while I cross stitch. So this was it was either Chance or Community Shelf. I don't remember which one is the one that picks just like the actual book you read. The other prompt I got was read a book with exactly 13 letters on it. And I have struggled to find books with that. Basically, all the books I could find was 12. But it ended up working. So for our book club pick, we have to read the Great... No, it's not Great Expectations. I keep saying it's Great Expectations, but it's not. We have to read The Grapes of Wrath. So that has 13 letters. If you exclude the... So I think I'm just going to have it count because I have to read it anyways. Might as well. I cannot find another book with 13 letters. So I'm going to probably do that. But yeah, so I just started picking up reading again. I'm 60 pages into this. It's only 250 pages. I feel like it's kind of a slow start, but also it's good. I have no reason why I wouldn't DNF it, but I think I'm going to get at least 125 pages because that would be exactly halfway. See if I want to DNF it. Because I'm just not vibing with it. Well, I don't know. I say I'm not vibing with it. I don't know if I'm not vibing with it yet. So, but it has picked up in the past like 20 pages, so I'm intrigued. And going to keep reading. Basically, I've only come on to tell you that I actually started reading again, and that's been a while, and to tell you the other book that I need to read that I'm going to pick for a prompt. But I think what I'm going to do is if I can try to finish this at least, then I will roll again, get a prompt that I'm excited about. I also, last time I talked to you, I had read Hooky, and I still haven't, I didn't continue, but I have books 2 and 3. So I think if I can get those read as well, that would just put me in a happy mood, make me, I'm just really trying to point this at Barnaby at this point, sorry, I'm not in frame, but just try to get back into it because, like I said, I've been playing The Sims, but I have reading to do. I want to participate in the bookopoly, so I need to actually read to do that. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know how much I've already talked about my Frankenstein or Dr. Frankenstein's daughters. So basically, you have two. They're twins, Giselle and Ingrid, and Giselle is more like the high society, wants to conform, blah blah blah. Ingrid is more of scientific, explores things, is curious about their father's journals and everything. So basically the two girls, they were given up to their mother's side of the family when they were born. Their mother died, I think, in childbirth, and Dr. Frankenstein gave them up because at this point, he was scared that the monster that he created would come after them because the monster killed his younger brother, a friend of his, and then his second wife. So the girls did not know anything about their dad at the beginning of this, and then their uncle, Dr. Frankenstein's brother, comes and is hey, he's passed, you have an inheritance, blah blah blah. So they go to Frankenstein's castle on an island out in Scotland, and it's run down and everything, and Giselle is the one who wants to restore it to this beautiful fancy castle, and basically for socialites and everything to come, have balls, blah blah blah. And again, Ingrid's more interested in the father's scientific journals and stuff. So I'm 100 pages in, okay, and there's just a lot going on. Well, not really. There's just a lot of questions, I feel like. So, which is ironic. I have Frankenstein's monster behind me. Ha ha ha. Anyways, so we Ingrid goes next door and meets in this little cottage and meets this man who I forgot his name already. I think it's William something. But anyways, so he has a nerve disease, and I don't know enough to think of what it could be, because obviously this is set a long time ago, so they don't have a real name for it. But on top of that, and it's progressively getting worse and worse. On top of that, because of that, he got injured in the war, and like can't really move that well, but he's kind of mysterious because he's super moody, which it's very clear like nowadays that he is a depressed individual, but obviously like he's just like a moody recluse, but he's still able to like ride and go sailing and stuff, and Ingrid is kind of falling in love with him, which does not make Giselle happy because Giselle does not think, obviously she's kind of snooty and talks down about the cottage and everything. So you have that element going on. But then you also have Giselle, who they're 17, by the way, who fell in love with this guy before they moved, and he rejected her. So then she was mortified, blah, 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 and then come about this inheritance. So now that she's moved to this castle, this boy has sent her a letter being like, oh, but I was actually I ended a relationship, which is the only reason I rejected you, and a relationship that I had with this girl, and I would love to basically meet you, which, I mean, I don't know yet, but kind of sounds like a load of BS, okay? Anyway, so it's just very, kind of ironic that, Giselle is saying that to Ingrid. I don't know. Yeah. So you have all these elements, okay? And so, but they don't actually know. People don't really know about Frankenstein's monster. So that element hasn't come into play. You also have this element of Giselle she sleepwalks, but it's really bad. She sleepwalks and she has these nightmares, and she'll she thinks she's living the nightmare as she sleepwalks, which is kind of crazy. The last time she did that, she was talking about not letting the bad man take them, okay? So, I mean, I haven't gotten, I don't know if this is true. I have a suspicion. So there's this other, little hovel, basically a shed type of deal on this island that they haven't investigated, and it looks abandoned. And I have a suspicion that it's going to be, Frankenstein's monster hanging out there, okay? Which I could be completely wrong, okay, right? But that would be a very similar thing that happened in the actual Frankenstein. So if you haven't read that, at one point he does hide in a shed somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. It's been a couple years since I read Frankenstein last. But anyways, so I have a feeling that he's gonna come into play. I don't know if he's gonna try to attack them, whatever, not sure. Part of me before I even started was okay, well, maybe Ingrid is gonna become obsessed with trying to recreate this. Maybe she is going to somehow try to get forced, the Frankenstein's monster is gonna try to force her to be, make him a bride. Maybe Frankenstein's monster is going to try to take one of them to be his bride, because that was his goal. That was, part of the thing that he wanted and why he was killing, because he wanted Dr. Frankenstein to make him a bride, blah, blah, blah. So I have theories. I have no idea where this is going. Because, again, I'm 100 pages in. This is only a 250-page book. And as far as I'm aware, and I'm almost positive this is a standalone novel. So who knows? I am curious. I just am very curious as to how it goes. I feel like I've told you a lot, but I don't know how any of that could be spoilers, because we haven't gotten to anything conclusive. We don't know anything that's happened. So there's a lot of buildup. I'm a good chunk into that. I mean, you can't see because I'm blocking the other half, but, there's only that much left. So yeah, I don't know. But I see, I feel as soon as I find out anything, I'm not going to be able to tell you any information without it being, a spoiler. So those are just my theories so far. I think something along those lines are going to happen. I keep putting my thumb in my camera. But I'm not really sure because I don't know where it's going. And also I'm very confused about this guy, the guy on the island, and how he's going to come into play. But right now I'm also very annoyed with Giselle, so I'm kind of finding her annoying because, again, more of the double-edged sword type of deal. And also, I don't know, just the socialite aspect character, not usually my favorite anyways. But I will report if anything major happens. Otherwise, I'll probably end up just reading because I'm really getting into this. I'm really enjoying it now. So I don't see why I would stop reading. Actually, I do have a reason I would stop reading. Let me. Excuse me. Do you want to show off for the camera? You want to show off? He would be the reason why I'm not reading much. Like, we went to the park earlier today and read maybe like 20 pages in total of being there for like 40 minutes. Granted, like, I did take his tennis ball so he could play. But he's just so distracting. He's giving me the evil eye. Even when I've been like, anytime I like to say, like, anytime I do crafts, so like if I'm trying to crochet or I'm trying to cross stitch or whatever, he will literally just be laying there doing absolutely nothing. Okay, he doesn't want to play with me. He won't bring me a toy or anything. And then as soon as I whip out a book, I try to whip out crochet, like anything. He's like, Mom, no, we need to play. I need you to get down on the floor and chase me. So, but while he's being good right now, I should take advantage and continue reading. Okay, so I literally just finished Dr. Frankenstein's Daughters by Suzanne Wynn. And okay, so it's definitely going to be a 3.5 stars. Honestly, at this point in my life, I give star ratings by vibes and how I'm feeling. And I think that's good. But I don't know. Okay, so this book is nothing like I thought it would be about. Genuinely. Yeah, like, I did not expect it to happen. Like, I didn't expect words are hard. I didn't expect the book to go the way it did, okay? I thought, like, in my head when I told you earlier, kind of like, Ingrid, who's the scientist one, is probably going to be, like, confronted by the Frankenstein's monster and, like, forced to, like, do stuff, like, forced to, like, either help him create a bride or like something like that. It's not how that went. I don't know. And like, you kind of know the ending roughly like 30 pages before the end of the book, because that's kind of when all the pieces start putting it together. But I didn't know that was the direction. I don't want to like say what it was, but like, I didn't know that was the direction of the story for the first like 150 pages, which is half of the book. It was good. I mean, it was good. It was better than I was expected, because there was a point at the end where I genuinely was like, do I just DNF it? Mainly because I didn't want it to take a turn where I would be disappointed. So how do I explain this? So you get both perspectives from both Ingrid and Giselle. Right, it kind of alternates. And I was not liking Giselle's perspective. She was a little uppity up. I don't know. I just wasn't vibing with her. And I felt like the situation she was putting herself in were kind of like, not outlandish, but just like annoying. I say that the ending, like, it comes together. Like, I get it. I get why I don't, there was always something that felt like I was missing from her perspective. And I get it. Okay, I get that now. Okay, so we'll ignore that. But with Ingrid, right, she kind of falls in love and she wants to fix him because he's like, his name is not William, by the way. I said that earlier. It was Walter. And he's basically disabled between some illnesses he has and then between the war and everything. So she wants to fix him. And I was really scared that I was going to go down this route where she was going to become like a crazy obsessed, like doctor, like her father, like Dr. Frankenstein. That didn't really happen. So, in the last, like, not even 50 pages, last, like, 30 pages, or at least, like, in a small section of the book, I was, like, skim reading. Like, I was reading all the words, but I was definitely, like, not trying to absorb it all because I was like, oh, I don't want to deal with this because I don't, like, I liked her more of the two sisters, and I was like, I don't want her to go down this bad path. So that didn't happen, so that's great. But, like, by the end, it was just, like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it coming. I get now why I wasn't vibing so much with Giselle. And I don't know, like, I mean, obviously I understand it's like a YA, so it doesn't need to be as, like, fledged out, like, as full and, like, as many details. But I do kind of wish there was more. But I say that, and I think, like, if there was more to be had from this book, I don't know if it necessarily would have been the bits that I was interested in, because, like, that, like, I don't know, I guess it just caused me anxiety to think that of, like, two characters that the one that I really liked, like, I didn't want her to become, like, a deranged and, this crazy, like, mad scientist. And I feel like that could have been added on too, and I wouldn't have liked that bit. But I just feel like there could have been, I think it could have been fleshed out more. Like, I think there could have been more. Because, I mean, it was only 250 pages. And at this point, when she released this book, she already had released, like, mini books that I know were super popular back in the day. Like, I actively, so I don't know if you haven't seen my, like, unhaul / like, wasn't really an unhaul. It was like a giving books a second chance type of thing. One of them was Distant Waves, which is a Titanic novel, which I definitely am going to get rid of. They've just been sitting upstairs, by the way. Like, they haven't actually left my house. Distant Waves. And it's a Titanic novel, and she wrote that, which is crazy. She's also written, like, the barcode tattoo, and I don't know if anyone else knows what that is, but I do. I read it when I was, you know, in middle school / high school. I still own that book. Like, I still want to finish that trilogy because I never did as a child. And, like, she has other books that are really popular. So what's crazy to me is that, like, she could have written a slightly larger book, and, like, I think it would have been fine. Like, in the world, I think she could have written a longer book, and it still have been, like, published and fine. Because, like, she, at this point, she has a successful career. Like, a lot of these books are being sold and are being promoted. Because, like, I was that age when they were being promoted. I don't know. It was mid. It was better than mid. But I'm rounding down to 3 stars, but it is a 3.5 because I don't know. I just have so many emotions. I don't understand how to explain it, and I really can't get into all my thoughts without just completely spoiling the story, because, like I said, I didn't expect that to be the direction this book was going in until it literally started piecing it together in the last 30 pages. So anyways, okay, I'm probably gonna go upstairs to my bed. I don't know. Ooh, maybe I'll go roll again. Because I already told you the 13 letters I'm gonna use for the Grapes of Wrath, and use that to finish for this weekend. And then I will roll, see what else I come up with. But realistically, I'm probably just going to end up cross-stitching tonight and watching a movie. Because it's spooky season, so I want to start watching my spooky movies. Last night I watched Bram Stoker's Dracula. So, not sure what I'll pick tonight, but I'll probably do that and cross-stitch. Hello. Okay, so it's been a couple days. And by a couple days, I mean it's been several days. But last time you guys would have seen is I rolled doubles, and I got, what did I get? 5-star prediction and historical vibes. I don't remember what the actual, like, Space Time is, but it was basically either historical fiction or like some type of historical vibes with it. So that night I like gave you guys like a spiel. I was like, oh, I'm gonna read these books. Even though I could double it up, I'm just going to try to read both books, blah blah blah. No. I had to return some of these books to the library. So I was like, I don't know. And then I kept being like, I'll read this book, and that just didn't happen. I started getting obsessed with Sims again because I love some Sims, even though I've actually been so raging at it lately because why is it my favorite game and one of the best games ever, but also the worst game in existence? Ugh. Anyways, so last night I was sitting downstairs. Actually, what was I doing last night? No. Incorrect. So last night, I ended up playing Valorant with my friend because she needed a morale booster and it was free and I was like, fine, girls night, we'll play, okay? Which ironic, and I actually ended up really liking it because I swore off, like, the thought of Valorant always gave me such bad anxiety. Like, I do not do well with, I would say multiplayer games, but multiplayer games where it's like online and I don't know these people, right? Like, why do I have to be a teammate? Why can we not go back to games that are single player, okay? With the option of multiplayer and we can play the campaign, you know? I'm a Halo girly. That's why I grew up on the Xbox, and now with all these games, I have to have people to play with. I only have one person who plays games. It's stressful, okay? Anyways, rant aside, I actually did end up playing it last night and I really enjoyed it with some friends. So I didn't do any reading. But this morning I woke up and I was sitting on my couch and I was looking. I have shelves downstairs and it's supposed to be like my pretty bookshelves, like, you know, the show off pieces because I have some special editions and that's where like people would actually see my books. But it's just got a bunch of books on it right now because as you can see, office is still a mess. My mom is going to help me this weekend though, so hopefully I'll get footage of that. But I saw that I have two actually, the first two. Han Helsing, The Vampire Hunter. It's this cute little graphic novel. And I was like, I'll choose this for a double up prompt. Because here's the thing about me too. And I forgot to mention this earlier in my spiel of talking, but like I said this in footage that will never get posted, is that I don't have like 5-star predictions. If I buy a book or if I pick up a book, 95% of the time, I assume that I'm going to love it. It's going to be like a favorite book or whatever, because obviously it sounded intriguing. Like, there are very few books I go into it being like, probably not going to buy it, but I'll try it anyways. Those are books like from book clubs that I kind of have to choose, or some types of trashy romance novels that I pick up just for fun and I need a palate cleanser. Like, I picked up one the other night thinking, oh, maybe I could do this, and it, like, I'll have to read you some of the text later, kind of on a time crunch right now, but no, knew that wasn't gonna be a 5-star, got into it, got within 10 pages, like, absolutely not, but probably still finish reading it. But anyway, so I'm gonna choose this. It's cute. I'm only 32 pages in. It's only like, I think it's, I don't know, that doesn't have a page number. It's a little over 200 pages. Super cute. I think it'll be a quick read when I actually do read it. I'm about to play Valorant with my friend. And so once I finish that, I'll let you guys know how it goes. And then we're going to do another roll because we have 7 days left in October and I want to get more reading done. I also will be utilizing audiobooks depending on the next rolls because I have a lot of cleaning to do right now, especially before my mom comes. And like I said, my mom is coming specifically to help me like get my office in order. So I'll probably be doing that a lot, especially if I like finish painting and stuff. You'll see a lot of that. But I will go. I'll keep you updated. Okay, editing Grace here. Something that I didn't explain in this clip, that I did explain in the clip that I'm not going to include, is that I, for the 5-star prediction, didn't feel like I could pick the second volume on Hooky, which, like, as you can see, the first half of the month, I just wanted to read it. That's all I wanted to read, but I couldn't fit it into the prompts. But I felt like I couldn't justify choosing it for a 5-star prediction because I didn't give the first one 5 stars. Like, and there are many series where I actually enjoy it more and I'll give things 5 stars after the first book, but I felt, even though no one's correcting me, no one cares, this is only for my personal enjoyment, so I could have picked it for the 5-star read, but I didn't. like I don't know, part of me was like, well, it's technically not a 5-star prediction if I already gave the first one not 5 stars. I just thought I should clarify that because I didn't, and also considering how much I was talking about it in the first half of this video, I felt like I should explain. Hey guys, so I just finished Ham Helsing Vampire Hunter. It was cute. It's by Rich Moyer. It was cute. It was weird, but it is a children's graphic novel. I enjoyed it. I will probably end up I'm probably gonna end up like keeping this, and I think it'd be a really cute like book when my nephews get older to like read with them and have them like, because I mean it is really pretty graphics too. Let me try to find a spread. Like, it's cute, you know, it's colorful, it's pretty simple, but there's details, like lots of details and stuff, and I could imagine little boys really loving this. So I'm downstairs. I don't really feel like going upstairs because I've spent most of the day up there. And also, Barnaby is just chilling on the couch, even though he should be eating dinner. He's also been pouting all day because I haven't been giving him attention. But then we come down here and he's like laying on the couch like, I don't care about you. So I think what I'm going to do is just, like, I've already been using virtual die. I'm just going to use them and then put a little graph. Like, I'm just going to look at the board virtually and kind of figure out where I'm at. I'll make some little graphic and put that up. I'll put that on the screen. So you can see what the roles are. I'll get back to you guys once I figure out what I'm going to read next. Okay, so I decided to do a wrap up because I have edited the whole video, and the way my October went, I literally I got obsessed with reading and was doing so well in like the first couple days, and then took a massive gap. Then like in the middle of the month I was reading a bunch, and then another gap, and then I never found a good book for the last roll. So yeah, so I was like, okay, it's November now, but let me do this little wrap up and talk about it. It's kind of ironic, I did a reading vlog and I got other b-roll, but I never got any clips of me actually reading because my tripod was always upstairs. And I was like, I'll just do it later, and then I stopped reading books. Okay, anyways, let's talk about first. I never really, let me go over what I read, and then I'll talk a little bit about Grapes of Wrath because I mentioned it, like I had to read it for a book club, and then I just never told you anything about it. So the first role I got was Pumpkin Carving, which is just have someone's face on the cover. So that's when I read Hooky. And really enjoyed that. Roll 2, okay, and either roll 1 or roll 2 was a Snake Eyes, so it was a double, and I just never noticed. I think I was too hung up on the fact that it wasn't the square I wanted to notice. So technically, in reality, I should have had one more roll, but whatever. So roll 2 was a chance card, and I rolled and it was Dr. Frankenstein's Daughter by Susan Wynn. My roll 3 prompt was Jason, and Jason have 13 letters in the title. So I went with Grapes of Wrath. Technically, the Grapes of Wrath is 16 letters, but if you just take off the article, Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck, it's 13 letters. It's gonna count. I don't care. I ended up DNFing it. So I had to read that for book club. And I was listening primarily to the audiobook, which good thing I was, because I would take that to I took like the actual book to the park. I would read that a bunch. And it's just so, like, the book itself is so dense. And I just got to a point where, like, I was doing other things and I was listening to the audiobook, so I wasn't really retaining the audiobook, and I was like, I can't do this right now. I'm not saying that I wouldn't like it, because I do like other works, or I like other stuff by John Steinbeck, but I just didn't want to do it in that moment. Also, because Grapes of Wrath is such a depressing book, right? And I don't really like sad books, but also I just, like, this month was not the month that I needed to be reading sad books. So I DNF'd it. So then I got doubles for roll 4, which was Pentacle, so a 5-star prediction. And then I rolled again and got Ghost Tour, which just had to be, like, not necessarily historical fiction, but historical vibes. So that's when I went with Ham Helsing Vampire Hunter, just a cute little comic. Not a comic, graphic novel. That was cute. Okay. I decided, originally I wasn't going to split up the prompts, but I just did it for the sake of, like, mentality. I was like, I'm probably not going to get that many reads in. Let me just read this. And then I did roll for a 5th prompt, which was Dice Roulette, which I rolled a 6, which, what was the pages? So basically Dice Roulette was like, you have to be in between a certain page count, 275 to 324. And I never found a book for that, so I didn't read anything for that. So I only read 4 books, well, 3.5 books this month. That's fine. Actually, I'm really okay with that. My goal for this year, because I've been in reading slumps since like last year, I didn't read much either. My goal was 12. I've already hit that. So reading 3 books this month, that's great. That is perfect. The only other thing I really wanted to wrap up also is I talked at one point about, oh, I was super excited because I'm gonna get my bookshelves put up, blah blah blah. My mom did come, and she actually put it up. We put it up the second weekend she was here, so not the first weekend. So technically we put that up in November, and I didn't really want to include any of that footage in my October vlog, so that will be coming soon. Because as you can see, I don't have any books on it right now, so that's what I'm gonna do today. But yeah, I mean, I think that was a great reading month. And I did a lot of other stuff too, but I have a lot of hobbies. So the fact that I didn't I mean, I would have liked to have read more, but the fact that I was doing other stuff as well, it's just how it goes. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog that contained no visible reading. So I could have just made up everything. I didn't, but I could have. Anyways, hope you liked it. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time.